Welcome to this presentation on recent research in neuroscience and its effect on teaching and learning. I'm Gabriel Russo, and let's dive right into how the brain works, some recent findings, and finally some strategies to use in the classroom. Let's get started. The brain is the most amazing part of the human body, and understanding the fascinating way it processes and organizes information is one of the keys to understanding the functions of the brain. The brain takes information and looks for recognizable patterns, making neural connections in the brain, which, through regular use, become stronger. When new information is presented to the brain, it is merged with existing information through the recognition of these patterns. The recognition of more complex patterns comes through regular practice and learning. As more complex patterns are learned, we gain more control of executive functions, which allow us to remember instructions, multitask, and focus attention. Brain plasticity is one of the most exciting, fairly recent discoveries in modern neuroscience and refers to the brain's ability to reorganize neural pathways or change itself due to its experience and learning. This relatively newly recognized feature of the brain is very important after brain injury from stroke, accident, or other issues. The brain may lose some functionality in one part as a result of this trauma, but other areas of the brain are able to rewire themselves and take over to provide some coverage in the lacking areas. More study into this area is necessary, as we're not quite sure how plasticity shapes brain physiology. The effects of early childhood stress has recently been linked with hampering the brain development of children. Children who experience less affection or sensitivity from their parents are more at risk for cognitive or behavioral problems. On the other hand, a healthy relationship between parent and child will result in better cognitive function and proper physical reactions to stress. Toxic stress, which is unrelenting stress on a very young child, results in the hypothalamic pituitary and adrenal hormone overproducing. This overproduction weakens the structure of still developing brains and can lead to lifelong problems in learning and comprehension, as well as physical and mental health. Recently, social isolation has been a topic of great interest among educators, as we have had remote learning for a significant period of time, more or less depending on geographic location. The effects of social isolation on learning are far-reaching and can be detrimental to the quality of life of the individual. Deficiencies in attention and cognition have a tremendous detrimental effect on everything from behavior, decision-making, and interpersonal interactions. As the brain grows and matures, it becomes more interconnected, and those connections become stronger. These neural connections are key to creating lasting memories and linking old memories with new ones. This learning actually changes the physical makeup of the brain by organizing and reorganizing memories. Studies have shown that learning has a pronounced effect into old age, with the brains of academics seeing less degeneration than those of non-academic subjects. The more students learn, the faster and stronger the neural pathways become, and the more ready they are to learn more until this becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Research has shown that teachers who implement brain-based learning often see both increased knowledge retention and academic performance. Not only do students score higher on test scores, but they also remember the skills they've learned and can use them beyond the classroom. Educators should strive to produce lessons in various forms in order to reach every individual student. Everything from the room itself to the configuration of the desks and from the teacher's tone to the quality of the lesson should be made to increase calmness and promote learning. Teachers should be available to each student for brief periods of one-on-one time so relationships can form and grow. As previously stated, educators can set up their environment that promotes learning. Posters with expectations, student jobs posted, student work posted, etc. Short lessons followed by a discourse with the class to gauge their understanding. Maybe show a video or assign a hands-on activity to further cement the lesson in their minds, while making yourself available for questions and praising efforts around the room. Get the students up out of their seats in the classroom to stretch and get the blood moving, or even better, take them outside for whole or part of the lesson. Toxic stress can cause anxiety and depression, but it can also cause certain cancers, asthma, and various cardiovascular diseases. To prevent this, teachers can make sure students know that they can go to them with problems and will get understanding and assistance as opposed to yelling or other negative response. Teachers must know what signs to look for among their students as far as anxiety or depression, and will be able to refer a student to a specialist or the counselor. Showing students some ways to deal with stress, such as mindfulness or taking deep breaths, can give them the tools to use in their personal life to handle stressful situations as well as in school. Even in a classroom full of people, some students will feel isolated and alone. Some strategies to tackle social isolation in the classroom cross borders and are helpful to other issues as well, such as moving around, for example. Students should feel that the classroom is a safe space for them, that the teacher has their back and will support and protect them. Knowing what to expect and having scheduled assigned tasks helps students structure their time properly, and everyone gets a turn so no one is left out. As said, a lot of these techniques are helpful with more than one aspect of brain-based learning and should be adopted by educators in the modern, successful classroom. Thank you.